are still a lot of questions as the investigation into the alleged gunman's motives and background continues.
This comes as Providence Mayor Brett Smiley was thrust into the national stage after this incident. I sat down with him at the Public Safety Building just a short while ago to take a look back at the week that was. Mayor, thanks for your time. Where are we today? What are the newest developments that you've been briefed on?
We don't have any updates on the investigation, but that doesn't mean it's stopped. The FBI is taking charge of processing whatever information might be useful out of the facility up in New Hampshire, and I, like the rest of our city, wants answers to the question why. I think it'll help us get closure to understand why Providence, why Brown, why that classroom. I don't know anything more today than I did last night, but I do know that our police department won't stop until they've done everything they can to answer those questions. But I think we have to brace ourselves for the possibility that we may not get all the answers we're seeking. Right.
Fox Point, I was there last night, and people were fist bumping and high-fiving, obviously mourning the loss of these families and these victims, but a sigh of relief in the city. Did you feel that today?
I certainly did. I mean, everything about this situation is tragic, including how it ended last night. We shouldn't be celebrating that, but it was a huge weight lifted off of the city's shoulders, and a giant exhale on behalf of the city to know that this very legitimate fear and threat to our community was no more.
You don't mince words. And the other morning you were on a podcast or an interview, and you said that there were some missteps in this investigation, and I'd like you to explain that for us.
Well, we've talked a lot about the lead that was heavily explored on Sunday that turned out to be a dead end, which was a real disappointment. The flip side of it, however, is we had a credible lead, and I think the community would be pretty upset if we didn't explore it. But it was a disappointment, and I think the misstep was not that the investigation was distracted or in any way misdirected. We had multiple leads. You heard that from the Attorney General last night, and we were exploring all of them, and we never put all of our eggs in one basket. But I can say for myself, I certainly allowed myself to get excited about the possibility of a conclusion on Sunday. And while we were I was very disciplined about continuing to say person of interest and to be very disciplined in the language we used on Saturday, I absolutely allowed myself to get my hopes up, even though I knew that it was still very tentative and that it was still very preliminary. And my sense is that a lot of the community did as well.
Right. I want to talk to you a little bit about Brown University. There's a sense or a feeling, and correct me if I'm wrong, that sometimes politicians dance around that university. Can you say, as the mayor, they may be a university, but they're in the city that you run. Do you think that they need to take a closer look at how they handle situations?
I think Brown should do sort of a review and an after-action review, just like we're going to do here in Providence. Anybody should after an incident like this. I know in Providence's case, I'm extraordinarily proud of the work of this police department, but that doesn't mean that there won't be things we could learn from. That doesn't mean that we don't have maybe tools or technologies that we wished we had. And
do you think Brown made missteps?
Not that I'm aware of. But I would hope and expect them to do that full review. Again, the Brown police responded within minutes. Providence police were right behind them, and a majority of this investigation took place in a residential neighborhood in Providence and not on campus.
But it all started on campus, I guess.
Of course it did.
Would you, if you had a chance to talk with President Paxton, would you advise her from a city standpoint to perhaps put some more cameras in around that building where it happened?
I think we all should, both the city and Brown and every other institution in town should have a conversation about what technology tools would help. One of the things that was so helpful in this investigation for us is the City of Providence's Real-Time Crime Center, which we just opened in July. Thank God we did. It turned out to be an incredibly useful tool, and that's an opportunity for us to share camera feeds from around the city, including at the institutions. And so the better tools that we have on campus, the better the city, the safer the city is in general.
I get 30 seconds, Mayor. How do you feel? How was this for you?
I'm relieved, certainly, from last night. I still don't think I think there's a lot of emotion yet to process, and my expectation is that it's going to take a while for us to heal.
All right, Mayor, thanks for your time. Certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.